Hey, welcome to 3 3/4 Thursday. What we're looking at today may or may not work with 3 3/4 figures. I just took it out of the box. Going to be completely straightforward and honest with you. So this set right here cost $24, and it was originally even more, but it was at one of those discount places called Beals, right beside a Ross at where I live. This particular set was only $6 less, so it was $18 altogether. It caught my eye because, for one thing, I love this kind of stuff. I love space stuff, especially stuff that's not tied to a particular property. It calls back to my childhood of my first Legos were definitely the space sets. So we have cockpit opens. We have a little figure inside of here. We have lights and sounds, which means it's going to annoy me. We have a little guy on a scooter, which in the package, I'm going to tell you right now, when I was looking at this stuff, I was going, he doesn't look like he comes off of the thing. When I took him out of the package, he had rubber bands around his hands and things, so that changed my mind there, because it just did not look like he came out of it. And let me see if I can get this over here. We have this, which is completely out of scale with the rest of this stuff. These two things look like they're in completely different scales. And it also says collect all of them. So we got this set, which is pretty much like mine, but more spaceships. We got this set, which looks really cool, the one in the middle right there. I wish they only had this set. It's a space exploration kit stem. There's no other information on this, unfortunately. There's the set I bought, and there's another set which looks a lot like the set I'm about to show you, but I'm going to show you what's in this box first. So coming right out of the package, we got the completely wrong or different scale. I'm going to have to move this down. Differently scaled. The figure that would go inside of this would be about this big, probably, I'm guessing. That's nothing at all like the rest of it. I don't know, I guess scale doesn't matter. It does separate, so you can have the Challenger and the the booster rockets that get it up into orbit separated. I don't know in personal real life, I've never handled one of these, but I have been to those museums, so it seems like these were bigger, but then again, they do get smaller every year, I suppose. This is a satellite. It could be a weapon satellite, or it could be where the Centurions are up there, and April is sending down weapons, beaming them down there, except it says NASA on it, so I don't know about that. So this seems like it's not in the same scale. If it's supposed to have people inside of it, definitely not in the same scale. But then again, I don't know. I don't know. All right, the spaceship, let me first get off with this piece. This piece is really actually pretty cool. We got, and I need to probably back up some or something. Let me see if I can move the box out of the way, because some of these pieces are big and I got cats in the background running around. All right, let me put this down. It's getting a little windy out here too. This one has a cockpit that opens, but I don't think that's going to protect her with the windows wide open. And it's a her as far as I can tell. All right, so we got big puffy tires. They're not rubber, they're hollow. It's a very Tonka, not Tonka, it's that softer plastic kind of feel. These, oh, they move. I thought they were just painted at first, or whatever, clear plastic stuck on it. Huh, those come up for, I don't know what reason. There's a radar dish that doesn't look like a radar dish that I'm familiar with. And there's a place to put the trash. It looks like a space trash truck. I guess you put equipment in there. So on this side, it's got this, that's non-mobile. Lots of screw holes. And on this side, the back side, the top side, the front side says truck. At the bottom, now these had the little things that held it down to the package. They weren't just the ones you turn 90 degrees and pull it out. You had to unscrew it, just to let you have a heads up there. All right, the spaceship that comes with this looks like this. It's completely enclosed right there. It's probably gonna have annoying sounds. Ready? Oh, thank God it doesn't. I suppose you have to put batteries in it, and mine did not come with the batteries because there's no little thing to pull out. So that's good, because I don't want to hear the noise. I really don't. It's got little wheels on the bottom. I'm betting those don't look like they light up to me, but they may. There's something here, but I don't know if that does anything. There's also this thing, which is, of course, on the normal thing. Now, they showed having a figure standing on this thing. Why? I don't know. But here's that. This will be the lights and sounds, and this is the cockpit opening with the information right there. The little designs on here is pretty cool. And then there's a little scroll full of stuff. We got a computer you put together like a laptop, a walkie-talkie. I don't know how you'd use a walkie-talkie when you're in a spacesuit because there's no air between you and it to communicate or vibrate. I'm guessing that's a little satellite dish and a shovel so you can poop on the moon and then cover up your poop when you're done. That's always a good thing to do. Now, here's what you're waiting for, the figure. It only comes with this figure. Oh, there's one more thing, and this figure, because I was about to say there's only 2 figures. And this one looks very much like he was attached to it at first, but after taking the rubber band off, I'm going, no, he's not attached. So that's good, because if it was attached, I'd be very bummed out. Because this thing right here alone looks really cool. I like this floating, turf. It has some paint crap. Ugh. Oh well. But other than that paint quality thing, I like this a lot. It reminds me of the Sky Surfer Strike Force. Okay, it's a lot of information on there. All right, but will the figure, there's White Kitty. Will the figure come off? Yes, it will. Can I put the other figure on? Her legs aren't as wide as a stance, so nope, you can squeeze them in there. Okay, yeah, she'll fit. All right, let's take a look at the figure side by side. And then this one has articulation, nothing in the legs, nothing in the head. The backpack, it does not come off, but just the arms, that's all there is. This one, you got the thing going up so she could suffocate in space, and then go back down so she can breathe with the oxygen supply tank on the back. Does this come off? Yes, it does. It does come off. Now, there's a picture on the thing that shows you're supposed to like hook this up to their backpack. I don't know why. like you're gonna fly around with her like out there. Like, it's like extreme sports or something. I don't know. And plus the ball joint's not that good. It's a very loose ball joint. This is supposed to be like if you ever had a space shuttle plate thing, like a satellite's supposed to be in here, but this light will not fit. So it's supposed to put a satellite out there or a clamp hand. That's what I normally see with those. So it's very different. Her head doesn't articulate, obviously. Her arms want to go together. That's interesting, but they don't. They just want to. So it's probably the 2 connectors, probably right beside of each other. The legs are not independent of each other. You can't pull one without the other. So she can sit down and fit inside of this. Okay, he can't sit down, so he can't ride in that. So she's gonna have to do all the work, and he's just gonna fly around. Whoa! Okay, the wind's starting to blow things away now. And she can sit inside of this as well. Very loose seating. So now I know what you're asking. Are these compatible with 1/18 scale? Before we do that, let's go over to the other things I bought recently. This thing, which is very similar to that one, but I think this is a little bit higher quality. We also got, remember the space station? There's White Kitty in the background. And it had its own little flying chariot. That thing, remember? Will they go with it? Nope. They're not the same scale. And then their spaceship compared to this spaceship. Theirs looks more like the real space shuttle. This one looks more like something sci-fi, which I like personally. And it also had the clamp arm in there. Let's take a look at the figure out of the package, or out of the cockpit. Let's compare him. Okay, he has the same thing with his legs. His arms are independent. He does have a head that turns, but he doesn't have a visor you can remove. Is he the same size? No, he is much shorter. Not much. Actually, if you put on the same line, he's not that much shorter. So there we go. Now I know what you're asking. How big is he? Well, I'm getting one of my shorter figures. He's bigger than a Sonic the Hedgehog figure. Here's a Microman 8cm figure from the 1999 through 2000 series. So this one's a little bit shorter than the 8. Okay, so it could still be a shorter person. Here is a G.I. Joe, Zartan, my favorite, from the Revive series, the 25-year series. And you can see he's a lot taller, but will he fit in these things? That's the main thing. All right, here is a Bumblebee from the Action Masters. This is more close to the original G.I. Joe size, 3.75. All right, here's some figures I thought might go with a good size comparison. Kind of. Probably more like this. Here's a, what are they called? Fortnite figure. Here's a Ben 10 figure. I figure they're in about the same 1/18 scale. Here's one of the extremely itsy bitsy teeny weeny figures. the smallest figures. And then here is one of the Power Rangers, which is almost, you know, a little bit bigger, but almost the 1/18 scale. I still consider this 1/18 scale. She's just a basketball player. Let me put it that way. So you're asking, well, that's great. That's fine and dandy. Do they work with this? Well, let's try the spaceship, because that's the most important thing. The most that most people are going to have is the G.I. Joe. So let's put a G.I. Joe in there. Now, first off, his butt is going to be keeping him from going all the way down. So we'll probably have to squish his knees a little bit. Hopefully he can sit a little bit more spread-legged to get him in there. I can't get his butt to go down without his legs going too far up. So he's not going to go in there. He's just not. But I'm pretty sure he'll go in this, because this looks pretty big. Oh no, maybe. Well, so yes, he does fit in there, and he actually fits pretty snugly. I'm sorry that the camera keeps moving, but I'm using a tripod that's not the best. It's not the suction cup one I use inside. So he does fit pretty nicely, actually. You get his feet in there, and he's pretty braced. Okay, so if he won't fit in there, I'm sure that this guy won't fit in there, because he's even bigger, in my opinion. Will he fit in there? Let's find out. No, his legs are too long, so it's keeping him from going all the way down. She's not going to fit in there. Will Bumblebee fit in there? Let's find out. I can get his legs from trying to cross over each other. Get his arms up. Ooh, it's a snug fit. Will it clamp down? He's trying. He really is. Oh, just barely. We got Bumblebee in there. That's awesome. I'm pretty sure my Microman will fit in there. So the other ones under Microman size will fit in there. I'm sure Microman is almost perfect. Guys, look, his legs to butt ratio is just perfect. Like feet to butt, perfect. There we go. So he fits in there just perfectly. So it depends on what you have as far as your idea of 1/18 scale, as far as what would go in there. If you think Sonic is your 1/18 scale, which it is technically, sort of, that scale at least, he fits in there just fine. These guys are much smaller. I consider him 1/24 scale, and he just pulled him apart. Please stand by for technical difficulty. I need to have one of those little screens on here that's, you know, please stand by for technical difficulty. I don't think he's ever tried to sit down before. I guess he's like, no, I don't sit down on the job. All right. Yeah, he sits just fine. His head's a little bit big though, but he fits. And of course, this little itsy bitsy teeny weeny guy is gonna fit. Probably just laying down like that. Yeah, there we go. His sword got in the way, but yeah, he's gonna fit, but not well. All right. So now there's one other vehicle. You're like saying, well, yes, but what about this thing? What about it? Let's find out. He looks like he goes with him really well. That's why I was like, yeah. It reminds me of something I had when I was a kid from the Metal Men. Remember the Metal Men figures that were slightly smaller? They were about this size, and they had different kinds of. They had a UFO one I had, and there was one. It was kind of like this, kind of like one of these, but it wasn't like as plump as this. This was like a jet ski almost, or what we called a wave rider. The jet skis stand up, the wave riders don't. But it's more plump. I had one that looked like a treadmill that you put your Metal Man on. It's not Metal Men from the DC Comics. It's Metal Men. It's just the action figures called Metal Men. That's all I remember. And I still wish I had those. Man, I love those so much, especially that UFO. But they're so expensive on eBay now. Yeah, he looks fantastic on it. I feel like he's going to do a Shasta. Don't you want a Fanta? Is the Fanta or Shasta commercial when they're jet skiing? It was such a crazy commercial. Want a Fanta? Don't you want a Fanta? That's what it reminds me of. So he could fit on it. And mostly these may fit on it. Here's one. It would go pretty good with the color scheme, I think. Now, will he fit? He will, as far as obviously he's not going to be too big for it, but can his arms fit without him looking unnaturally slumped over? Trying to get his hands on the steering wheel. You be the judge. I don't think he looks right. He looks like he is very uncomfortable. Here's what I think would be another fun figure for these, although his feet won't fit. Oh, it's just not going to work for him. Now, there might be a way to get this to make it taller, but I don't know. But he looks like he would just be perfect for it. Well, let me put his hands on it first. Let me try that. Except, oh yeah, his hands are two-dimensional. They don't go. Nah, hold on. Nah, it's just not working. So far, Micro Man does well with it. Oh, I was about to say, where did my other guy go? He's still chilling out in there. I doubt he will. Although, if they get the new, what are they called? The epic line. The epic line of, there's an epic line with a white jet ski thing, whatever you want to call it. It's like a swamp ski, or what am I trying to say? The Star Wars, motorcycles, basically. He's definitely going to get that. I'm going to repaint it in the colors of the G.I. Joe one that he had. Now, he has an old brown one, which matches his colors perfectly. That's what his favorite vehicle is. His hands won't quite grip it because of the size difference and the way his hands are a little bit more curved. Like they're curved forward kind of thing. It's hard to explain. So he looks like he's not going to fit it. Well, these guys fit it. Let me now get him to not sit down without breaking his waist. Oh my gosh, his feet fit perfectly almost. So, hold on. Sorry, we have pterodactyls down here. They go crazy sometimes. Probably they're feasting on squirrels. Yeah, I think he does work well with this. It's just a matter of getting his hands to reach. Yeah, I think that looks about right. That's good. So does it 118? Yeah, not so much. Does it 124? Yeah, probably more. So as far as the things go, this one is more for like, say, Microman size and your smaller 118 figures. This will work with your bigger 118 figures. And this one, it just depends. Like, he looks too short. Who was the one that worked well? Just Microman? Oh, did I even try this one? I bet he would go pretty good on it. Yeah, I think that looks good. I just can't get his feet to go in there because they're such a weird feet. I think his name is Swampfire. Oh my gosh, yeah, he does great on this, I think. So what do you guys think? You think it looks good? I think, though, personally, Microman does the best with this. All right, well, hey, I just wanted to let you guys know that if you're out there looking for 3 3/4 stuff, don't pass up on this stuff because sometimes it will work. It just depends on what your 3 3/4 definition is. This is what I usually use, even though technically he's not 3 3/4, but this is also what I use. So he'll fit this, and they can have a party, So you got a wide range of 1/18 scale. It goes from 4 inches to, I don't know what it is, 8 centimeters is what I usually think of. So 10 to 8 centimeters. And that little bit of difference is all it takes. Well, I hope you guys have a great Thursday, and let me know in the comments if I missed anything. If you wanted to say, oh, you forgot to do this, you forgot to mention this. Like, will these fit? Nope. And then I did talk about these previously, so I don't feel like I need to talk about them again. I don't think I talked about them being 1/18 scale, though, so I doubt it. I really do. I don't think he will fit in it, because these are just, well, maybe he will. Never mind. It's just that you can tell he looks like he's not wanting to sit down. Like, no. Like, you ever try to put your baby into one of those high chairs, and they're just not doing it. They're not having it. That's what he looks like he's doing. He's like, no, not going in there. But, your Imaginext will probably fit this well. So, I hope you guys have a great day. Again, let me know if there's anything I missed that you wanted me to cover, and maybe we can hit it on another 3 3/4 Thursday.